couple of years ago, I was in India taking this wonderful course on meditation and pranayama, on relaxation and yoga nidra. And I was taught a very simple breath practice for digestion. There's so much value in just taking some time to intentionally digest or metabolize meals, yes, but also experiences and integrations, practices, whatever they may be. There's a host of stimulus in the world these days, and though it's probably hard for a lot of people to pause and take a moment to integrate, there's great value to be found in it. So I hope that this is helpful to you. I'm going to teach you a very simple practice for digestive breathing. And if you think about how the esophagus travels down from the mouth, just behind the heart, it very quickly swoops into the stomach. It expands its size, it gets wide and then tapers again. It gets small into a little tube as it tucks behind the transverse colon and then comes through and out into something called the duodenum or duodenum. Duo is 2 and den, I believe, is 10. It's about 12 centimeters long is the understanding of where the name came from. Just a side bit of trivia. This is the sort of position where the bile from the liver comes in, where the pancreatic juices help to digest and start the digestion of starches and proteins and such that will predominantly be carried out just past the duodenum in the small intestine. The 90% of our nutrients are absorbed there, and there's a great blood supply there, and a lot of powerful energy comes into our body here. But beforehand, we can make a little bit of time to help encourage this. And so the technique is super simple. You're just going to lie on your side and breathe. But you're going to follow a particular pattern to do it. And it's easy enough. You start on your left-hand side, onto your right-hand side, back to center, and then finish on your left-hand side. And you do this for 10 breaths each position. So 4 positions, 10 breaths each position. And it's a wonderful pause in the day. It doesn't take more than 4 or 5 minutes. I do this sometimes at night, just as I'm easing my way and transitioning into sleep. It can be nice to have an extra pillow here, just to keep your spine neutral. I actually like having 3 pillows for myself. One for my head, I hug another one, and then one for between my legs. And you can see kind of from this position that it neutralizes my spine. Without the pillows here, what happens is that my head's going to be at a janky angle, my hips are going to collapse and roll forward, my shoulders are going to do the same, which all puts a lot of stress on the nervous system, which is in charge of the digestion and our metabolizing of experience and food. So as much as I can, my breath is in the belly. Inhale through the nose and exhale out the mouth. As much as possible, the chest is still and the breath is predominantly just in the abdomen. While I'm doing this, I can progressively create relaxation. One of the ways that I like to do this is just by making sure that my tongue is away from the roof of my mouth. That tends to relax the jaw muscles, allowing the jaw and its tension to release, which softens the cranium, the muscles there associated with chewing. And the tension relaxed in the head really does tend to release throughout the body. So that's about 10 breaths. Normally I would just roll onto my other side. I don't want to be rude to you. So I'm going to take this all over to the other side of my body. And again, as much as I can, a neutral spine. What I believe is happening here is that when I first lay on my left-hand side, I'm following the curve of the stomach. So I'm bringing everything away from that first opening, dropping it down into the curve, through the funda. And then, now that I'm on my right side, I'm encouraging everything that's transitioned down and into the stomach to carry on. I'm encouraging it down in towards the duodenum. And because my breath is in the belly, the diaphragm is gently massaging the stomach and the liver. Each breath is relaxing through the diaphragm, all of the associated muscles, which include psoas, quadratus lumborum, the ascending and descending colon, as well as transverse, the small and large intestines. Because I'm also taking this time to pause, my parasympathetic nervous system is getting stimulated, which means that there's more relaxation for my body. There's more ease and safety in my body, which means that the stress hormone cortisol is probably deregulating. It's downregulating. What this means is that I'm no longer in fight or flight. I'm less stimulated and more available to say, oh, we have blood for not running away, but for digestion, for procreation. Those are much more parasympathetic states. You have to feel safe. You have to be at ease and relaxed in order to be in a place of absorbing and metabolizing your meal, let alone experience. Now, after 10 breaths here, we'll come onto our back. If you have tension in your low back, it can be relieved by placing a pillow under your knee and just create a little bit of flexion in the hips, which will take some of the pressure out of the low back. Lying here on my back, I like to bring one hand to my chest and one hand to my belly and allow the breath just to move effortlessly. From the belly, the diaphragm, chest still. As I inhale, the lungs inflating is a byproduct of the diaphragm drawing down. It's changing the pressure dynamic, but the abdomen is contained. It is a pressurized vessel. So when I inhale, all of that pressure is pushing down on the abdomen. Inhale, or exhale rather, and the release is felt. So this neutral position on my back is just allowing the nervous system again to kind of settle everything into place. What kind of encouragement has been given? Where do we need to go? What's already happened? Who's on first? That sort of thing. And then we'll finish completing the cycle on, again, the left side of the body. We start on the left side, we finish on the left side. The encouragement is down and through. We're ultimately generating motion, or we're encouraging what's known as peristalsis, which is just the digestive motion. The body is taking food in through the mouth and ultimately eliminating it. But in the process between then those 2 points, that's where we extract all of the nutrition, all of the valuable information that we need in order to be healthy, to be effective in the world. There's a really nice byproduct of being relaxed in this process. Just carving out a couple of minutes to intentionally digest experience or food stimulates the parasympathetic nervous system. It encourages the autonomic nervous system to set us up more for rest and digestion, to allow that soft, diffused period of time has a counterpart to periods when we're focused. More and more we understand that the brain, the body, the whole human organism really requires periods of focused concentration, but also periods of diffused, softer attentiveness to allow integration. It's part of what makes us more effective at being human. I trust you found this helpful. I trust you will perceive this as the permission that it is to carve out a little space and time for yourself to rest, to intentionally metabolize some of the experiences you're having in the world right now, and take from it what serves you and leave what no longer does. There are things being asked to be left behind, and it is for you to determine what those things might be. If you're interested in another way of dialoguing with the body, you can check in with the body pendulum. It's a very simple and effective method of communicating with your own human organism, all 70 trillion cells of you, and a way of, again, extracting what is serving you and leaving behind what no longer does. I hope this finds you well, you and yours.